Well, very good afternoon. The public of Milton Keynes have come out in their force to support the showpiece day in women's football. What will be the story today as these two sets of players take to the field? Will it be the traditional dominant force in the game, winning a record 13th FA Cup? Or can Everton reproduce that upset of 4 years ago? Still to this day, the only team to beat Arsenal ladies in an FA Cup final. And what's going through Shelley Kerr's mind there, in charge of Arsenal ladies for the final time? Will it be the perfect send-off for her on this huge day for Arsenal and for Everton? So many have been there and done it before, and more so than Kelly Smith, the Arsenal captain. Some of these Everton players have the opportunity to really write their names in the history books today. And the two teams will now be introduced to Sue Hoff, the chairperson of the Women's Committee at the FA, and Barry Bright, the FA Leader of Council, before we get our national anthem. As Shelley Kerr introduces her players for one final time after 16 months in charge of Arsenal ladies. Can she reproduce what she did in her first season by winning the FA Cup with the club? Martin Atkinson, you'll recognise there, Premier League referee, in charge for the day. And Andy Spence, the Everton manager, for so long the assistant to Mo Marley, as he was when Everton beat Arsenal in the FA Cup final, experiences the day in charge for the very first time. Everton have defied the odds to get here, including a win over Merseyside rivals and reigning WSL champions Liverpool. Can they pull out all the punches one more time to get their hands on the trophy? As we await the singing of the national anthem now, which is going to be sung by a local soprano. Emily Haig is her name. It's a big moment for her to sing this in her hometown. These two teams now know that the moment is almost there. And remind you of the team news. Quite significant for Arsenal. 3 changes to the team that beat Chelsea in the semi-final. Shelley Kerr in her final team selection recalls an experienced trio in the backbone of her team. Goalkeeper Emma Byrne, who hasn't played yet in this competition this season, Rachel Yankee and Niamh Fahy have 20 FA Cup winning medals between them. Kelly Smith has 3 alone. Her 5 goals have been crucial in the road to the final, while Japanese internationals Kinga and Ono look to add an FA Cup winners medal to their World Cup ones. Well, Everton name exactly the same team that overcame Notts County in their semi-final. Nikita Parris got both goals and has scored in every single round. Brown, Finnis, Johnson, Chaplin and captain Michelle Hinnigan were all in the team that beat Arsenal in the final 4 years ago, while 17-year-old defender Gabby George starts just 2 months after making her debut. Promising 17-year-old Leah Williamson has to be content with a place on the Arsenal bench, while amongst the Everton substitutes, another winner from 2010 in Fern Whelan. And Kelly Smith has 5 goals in this FA Cup run already. 11 trophies in her Arsenal career. She missed last year's success through injury. Will she be lifting the FA Cup later on this afternoon? At the other end of the experience and age scale, Everton have Nikita Parris, Toxteth born in Liverpool, just 20 years of age. She too has scored in every round for Everton as she competes in a major final for the first time. Lucy Ward, you've played in one of these, you've seen plenty. Who would your money be on today?
I really think it's difficult today because, you know, Arsenal are full of international players, but Everton have got the youngsters in there who don't have any fear. And I would suspect it'll depend on the first goal conceded.
Well, Michelle Hinnigan, the Everton captain, meeting Kelly Smith, her opposite number today. Was named Everton captain when they lost Jill Scott to Manchester City at the start of the season. She was part of the team that beat Arsenal 4 years ago. She's also dreaming of lifting that FA Cup later on this afternoon. We must have a winner today. It is a repeat of the 2010 Women's FA Cup final. It will be Everton who were victorious that day to get the 2014 version underway. Here is Hinnigan. How important will these opening stages be, Lucy?
I was thinking about the nerves of both of the teams. You know, obviously Arsenal are not in form, Everton are young.
Well, they might have an early chance here. Here's Parris. Goes for goal. Well, the angle was always against her.
Yeah, an early chance for Everton there. I think you see the pace of Nikita Parris. And the initial through ball was an excellent ball, just got through Arsenal's defence, and you see the pace behind Emma Mitchell. First touch was actually quite good, but a shot wasn't what she would have wanted. That'll calm her nerves down a little bit.
Parris chasing Casey Stoner here. She has got blistering pace, Nikita Parris. She very nearly used it to very good effect in the first minute of this cup final. Lifted forward by Fahy. Kelly Smith beaten to that by Vicky Jones. We have twin sisters in the Everton team, Vicky and Kelly Jones. That moment for their family. Casey Stoney needed to clean up that situation.
And the twins are both wearing white boots as well, which really doesn't help. Was up here.
You did say to me earlier on they both looked alike as well.
No, I didn't. Both have ponytails with different numbers on the back. All right.
You will talk us through it. Yankee. Arsenal beaten to it again. Parris wants it again. Patiently dealt with by Brooke Chaplin for Everton. This is Kelly Jones. Back to her twin sister Vicky. Useful delivery from her. Almost came through to Parris. Now Kelly Smith for Arsenal. Pace of Carter away to her right. Waiting patiently is Ono in the centre. Didn't reach it, cut out by Gabby George. It's an open start anyway.
Yeah, I thought it would be an open game. Both teams desperate to do well after the start in the WSL, not that good. Arsenal want to prove they're back up there, and Everton want to win this trophy back 4 years on.
That really increases the importance of the day, given their starts to the domestic season. Here's Carter, good pace and skill from her. Led by 17-year-old Gabby George again for Everton. We talked about Parris's pace. We know Danny Carter has that in abundance too.
Yeah, lots of players with pace on show today. And Carter down that right-hand side. She can play through the middle as well, but showed a little bit of skill. Couldn't get the ball in. Just showing her pace.
Brown finished with the early take. In the Everton goal and the quick throw out as well to Kelly Jones. Both her and her twin sister left Liverpool in November 2012. Don't expect to be playing in an FA Cup final so soon, having beaten their former club, of course, along the way. No chances taken there by Emma Mitchell.
See the pace of Paris there, just put Emma Mitchell under pressure, had to put it out for a throw-in instead of comfortably knocking it back up the pitch. It's key that Everton use that.
Vicky Jones with the throw. Nice work by Danielle Turner, just gone out of play in the 22 role. Not so many of these Everton players through their centre of excellence. They place a great deal of importance on youth and bringing players through. Andy Spence, the coach, has been heavily involved in that over the years. They're beginning to reap the rewards of that policy.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a win today for Everton, we'll see the fruits of that. They've worked hard for years and years and years to try and get youngsters like this in their team. You know, the big names have left, and you know, the young ones that say, well, we're ready, we'll come and play, and you know, and they're doing really well.
Arsenal having to experience that as well. The first time in many years, big names leaving. It's been a long list of them, coupled with retirements as well. It's unusual to see Arsenal in a period of transition after so many years of dominance.
Yeah, I mean, they've only played a few games this season, so the table does look a bit strange, but you know, Arsenal will be looking at this game to kick the start this season, and I think that's been said by a number of players, you know, leading up to today.
It's comfortably through to Brown finish, but the likes of Horton, White, Little, Davison, Chapman, Grant, Flaherty, big characters to be missing, not just from the team but from the dressing room.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at the Arsenal team, and you know, they've still got big players like Yankee and Smith, and the two Japanese girls who have won, you know, great honours in the game, but to lose that many, you know, at one time, it has an effect.
That's a nicely weighted pass by Kelly Smith. Brown finish was brave. She had to get there, and she did. Only just, but excellent goalkeeping from Rachel Brown Finnis. Yeah,
Rachel Brown Finnis has started this game really, really well. Key off the line really, really quickly. She made the decision she was going to go for it. You know, I think she even got there first. She was having a go with the referee. I think she thought that she got a little bit of a kick from Carter.
Just evidence of what Arsenal are capable of. A slide rule pass from Kelly Smith has given Arsenal the first corner of the cup final, to be delivered by Rachel Yankee for her 11th winners' medal today. It's an inviting one as well. There was an infringement Martin Atkinson had seen. It's an Everton free kick.
I think that's obviously Arsenal's tactics on these set-piece corners. Most of the Arsenal players, have stood right around Rachel Brown Finnis, and obviously Everton has to mark them. Just going to put the ball right underneath Rachel's crossbar. Referee saw an infringement. It causes problems for goalkeepers when the ball's put there and you've people around you, including your own team.
So experienced, 33 years of age now, 11 years at Everton. Played in the 1996 FA Cup final, Rachel Brown Finnis, aged 15 for Liverpool. And here she is at 33, playing in another one for Everton. Talking of experience, she's got just a little bit. Rachel Yankee. Incredible to think, Lucy, she's looking for an 11th winners' medal today.
It's just madness. I mean, she's just played at the top level for a really long period of time, and you know, when Arsenal were really dominant, she was one of the key players. She's still there now, and she's hoping for that win.
Here's Kelly Jones for Everton. Around Mitchell. It's a nicely floated cross. Martin Atkinson didn't see an infringement. Millie Turner it was who almost made something of that. Once again, joy in the wide areas for Everton. Oh no for Arsenal. Driven away and picked up by Paris. Kelly Jones up against Emma Mitchell once more. From Lindsay Johnson. It's back with Mitchell for Arsenal. Kelly Smith onto the second ball. Cleared by Johnson for Everton. I think caging about the beginning of this cup final.
Yeah, I don't think Andy Spencer will be that happy with it. I think he would prefer Everton to be a little bit more solid. You know, Arsenal have got that much experience. You don't want to leave the game that open for them at this early stage. But they just need a bit of youthful exuberance from the younger players, but it needs Lindsay Johnson and the like to sort of settle that down a little bit.
Here's Carter. Nice turn from her on the Arsenal left this time. She might go for goal. She did. It was blocked by Johnson for Everton. Here's Scott. The 18-year-old Jade Bailey. Smith. Oh no. Yankee to hit one! What a try from Rachel Yankee. Denied by the woodwork. Well, Rachel Brown finished, didn't see that one, that's for sure. Everton survive, but here come Arsenal again with Scott. And that one isn't as close to the target from the Arsenal fullback. But Rachel Yankee's effort was a thunderous one.
Yeah, good work by Ono on the edge. Just set Yankee up to hit it first time. What a great strike. And you could tell the way that Rachel Brown finished, moved across her line, that she was worried about this, and in the end she couldn't get anywhere near it. She'd probably say that she had it covered. What a great strike. Just power and technique. I think she actually got fingertips to him. I don't think it just did the flight of the ball, but great effort.
She hasn't actually scored a goal for Arsenal in any competition since last September, which ironically was past Brown finish in a win over Everton. And she was inches away from giving Arsenal the lead in this cup final.
A little bit better shape to Everton now. Just need to keep the discipline when defending and look for the youthful players or the quick players like Paris when we're on the counter, to break them on the counter, Arsenal.
Here's Ono, the Japanese international, up against Johnson. Trying to lay it in for Smith. And Kelly Smith not getting the contact that she was after.
That was almost too easy. Kelly Smith in the end. Again, good work by Ono down this left-hand side. Seen her a few times, really impressed. Just trying to get it in that far corner. It was wide in the end. Thought she was going to try and put it in this near post. First real sight for her. See, Steve, it's difficult when you're a young player playing in a game like this and the noise of the crowd that they're not used to, you know, a bigger crowd as this. The senior players have to calm the rest of them down. You just play your normal game. You don't have to play any different just because it's a cup final.
Here's Gabby George, 17-year-old centre-back for Everton. He joined the club in February from Manchester United Centre of Excellence. Had a debut in April, and here she is playing in the FA Cup final against Arsenal. Nifahi, recalled by Shelley Kerr today. She's only completed 90 minutes once all season, the Republic of Ireland international. Experience at the forefront of Shelley Kerr's mind when picking the team. Here's Ono. Arsenal corner.
See Kelly Smith at the fulcrum of every attack from Arsenal, and I think that's what needs to happen if they're going to win this FA Cup, that everything comes through Kelly Smith, which it is. Good work with Ono again.
Ono to deliver the Arsenal corner. Played by Brooke Chaplin for Everton. And all the way back from Alex Scott. To Emma Byrne, two of the survivors of last year's cup final success of the Bristol Academy. Rachel Yankee, the other one to start that final. Casey Stoney for her third winner's medal in her first season. Another spell with Arsenal, the former England, of course, Great Britain captain. Greenwood for Everton. She was worried about Carter's pace, she still is. And in the end, she mistimed the challenge on Danny Carter. Arsenal free kick, right on the edge of the penalty area.
See what Alex Green would need to do before then. The first touch had to be better, and in the end, Dan Carter was running away from her, and she ended up having to lunge.
Alex Green with the 20 role. Just recently been included in Mark Sampson's England squad. And Rachel Brown-Finnis has to organise her wall here.
Yeah, it's not a place for Everton point of view that you want to see Kelly Smith lining the ball up, capable of set pieces. A challenge that Alex Greenwood didn't really need to make.
Yankees had a chat as well. The two vastly experienced players are over this. It looks as though it is going to be the captain, Kelly Smith. Hard look at it. Here is Kelly Smith! Perfection! The Arsenal captain to break the deadlock with a stunning strike. And the holders of the Women's FA Cup are in front.
Yeah, and an unnecessary challenge that leads to that opportunity right at the side of the wall. I mean, that's great technique, isn't it? What a great goal. And Rachel Brown-Finnis couldn't see through a wall. Needs one opportunity at that, Kelly Smith, and like I said before, if Arsenal are going to win this, they need her to be on form, and yeah, she's on form.
She scored in every round in getting to the final, and now Kelly Smith has a goal in the final, and Arsenal have the lead. And this young Everton team have a challenge to come from behind.
It's like the details, Steve, you know, that the way that Carter picked it up and Alex Greenwood couldn't get to it first time, then she ended up lunging, and then that creates something, a big game like that. Set pieces are key.
Well, look at the space here for Kinga, the Japanese international. It's a deep cross. It's a fraction too deep for Danny Carter. Fortunately, from Everton's point of view.
Yeah, when you concede, you've got to make sure that the next few minutes are yours and you stay settled. You know, there's lots more time left in this game for Everton to get goals back. Don't panic.
Mention the youthfulness of the Everton team. Andy Spencer's side, 9 of them are 26 or under. Only 2 30 plus, and you look at Arsenal's experienced team, 5 of them in their 30s.
Yeah, and you look at a game like a cup final, and you know it's going to come down to who's the most confident, who gets the momentum, and at the moment the momentum's with Arsenal, but he won't be panicking just yet.
It's overhit by Emma Mitchell, the Scottish international.
Quite a lot of the time when, you know, in years gone by, when you're coming into games versus Arsenal, you're trying to keep the score down, and people and teams didn't go in with any belief that they would win, but you know, now the last couple of seasons, teams like Everton know that they can beat Arsenal. They've just got to get the game plan right, and you know, they've got to do as well as they can and be on top form.
England band in good voice, adding to what is an excellent atmosphere inside Stadium MK. That was a disappointing kick though from Brown-Finnis. Scott, only player to score a league goal for Arsenal so far this season. That's taken comfortably by Brown-Finnis. Kelly Jones. And forward by Vicky Jones. Here's Paris. Tries to use that pace, and she has done. Needed the challenge from Mitchell.
Yeah, you can see how Arsenal have Nikita Paris as one to watch. You know, she knocks the ball and she's got the pace to beat any defender.
Now, can Everton conjure anything up from their first corner? Deep delivery. Danny Turner.
Everton quite strong on set pieces, the likes of Lindsay Johnson in there, and they're looking to make more of corners and free kicks than they just did then.
Oh no. Here's Carter. Greenwood with the interception. Carter's on the ball again, then cleared by George for Everton. Paris trying to attack Casey Stoney. He concedes the throw. Began her career at Arsenal back in 1999. Casey Stoney. George. Jones. Wasn't really the ball that Hinnigan was expecting. I think Michelle Hinnigan has communicated that. Important moments for Everton just to settle after conceding that goal, Lucy.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they'll probably be a bit nervous to start with. They've been looking to counter like they are now into different key areas.
Here's Chaplin. He stood her ground. Another Everton corner.
Yeah, they've obviously looked at the flanks of Arsenal as where they can counter and attack Everton behind the fullbacks. Alex Scott likes to get forward. Emma Mitchell's been under pressure down this left-hand side early on in this game.
Emma Byrne in the Arsenal goal yet to be tested. Will that change from this corner to be taken by the Everton captain, Michelle Hinnigan? Top of Byrne. And it was Millie Turner who got ahead to it.
Now that was a terrific opportunity. All she needed to do, was just get a little bit less on it. She just got the maximum amount of power she could. Didn't really know where it was, but just a glancing header just put Arsenal and the players on the line and the keeper under pressure.
Yankee, quickly closed down by Kelly Jones. And you can see, as Casey Stoney puts that out of play again, how wary the Arsenal back four are of Paris's pace in that kind of situation.
Yeah, they are, and Everton need to play on that. And I think it's Kelly Jones who's doing really well down that right-hand side as well, working well with Paris, but just keep giving it to her in those channels because it's very difficult as a centre-half to deal with.
Chaplin. It's Everton another corner. With Emma Mitchell.
A bit of sustained pressure now by Everton. They want to make one of these count, get themselves back in the game.
It's third corner of the game. Arsenal have everybody except Shinobu Ono back to defend it. Emma Byrne comes to attack it. She's got a good hand to it as well, the Arsenal goalkeeper.
She commands a box very well, Emma Byrne. If the ball is there to be punched, she'll go out and try and do it. Pressure from Lindsay Johnson as well.
Forward from Scott. Oh no.
Two centre-halves from Everton have been left a little bit exposed. They just need a little bit more compactness in front of them, and the two sitting midfielders, it's Turner and Hinnigan, just too easy to get at the moment, and they just want a bit more protection. I know that Lindsay Johnson will be making sure our midfielders know that, how experienced she is internationally as well.
Stuff like Hinnigan and Ono. This is Emma Mitchell, the 21-year-old playing in her first cup final. She's dispossessed. Back from Bailey. Arsenal throw. Arsenal, such familiar territory, their 9th final in the last 11 seasons alone. In the previous 8 finals, they've scored 25 goals. Kelly Smith there with the all-important one so far today. Mitchell on their right foot, by Gabby George, who took command, the teenage defender.
Interested to see whether Gabby George got a shout from Rachel Brown behind her. She just went for it. I think you've got to make your mind up as a defender regardless of the shout sometimes.
Mitchell. Yankee watched all the way by Millie Turner, the other 17-year-old in the Everton starting lineup.
That's just a ridiculous age to play in an FA Cup final when you're just starting your career. Obviously they've done well coming through the centre of excellences, and they're used to playing big games because they've played England under 19s, etc. But still a massive occasion.
Millie Turner only actually made her full debut in the quarter-final win over Liverpool, as Kelly Smith lobs that in towards Carter. Wasn't able to get over it. She didn't get the last touch either. It's an Arsenal corner.
Yeah, it's a good turn by Kelly Smith then. Just not that much pace on the ball in terms of Danny Carter getting anything on it, but in the end, it's well defended. It was Alex Greenwood.
Danny Carter featuring in her 3rd FA Cup final. It's part of the squads in the last 2 that beat Bristol, as Yankee delivers the corner. It was towards Fahy.
I think both centre-halves at Arsenal will look to get forward and get on the end of these corners. Did well, but Chaplin just got a body in the way. Fahy couldn't get much on it.
He missed last year's final. Here's Scott, who played in it. Smith, who's got the goal today. He's looking for the run of the Japanese international Kinga. Carter took control instead. It's an Everton free kick. But Yukari Kinga had made a run from deep there.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly Smith, I think Everton have been looking at Kelly Smith getting more on the ball, but yeah, that's a foul there. Carter just got a foot just in front of Gabby George. Every time Kelly Smith gets it, she's in space to close her down and just getting her face a little bit more. She's running the show for Arsenal.
Here is Kinga. Scott again on the overlap. Here she is. And she's got it back from Carter. Everton have to be aware again here. Scott's crossed too close to the Brown finish.
The system that Everton play, 4-2-3-1. Just be careful that Nikita Paris doesn't get isolated. Get the support up there, she's left on her own.
Mitchell with the Arsenal throw. 12 of their 13 FA Cup finals. In the City Ground 4 years ago, that 3-2 extra time win for Everton. The only blemish on their incredible record. Needed extra time in the semi-final though to finally overcome Chelsea 5-3 after extra time. There's Chaplin for Everton. Paris demanding it. Chaplin going for goal.
Every time Brooke Chaplin's got on the ball, something's been created for Everton. She's busy, she's athletic, and she's great technique. She's not afraid to have a shot from that far out that troubled Emma Byrne a little bit, but she was equal to it.
Way by Danielle Turner, only as far as Danny Carter. Marianne Spacey watching on. Arsenal, of course.
Yeah, she was a great centre forward in her day. She's probably reminiscent about the ones that she's played in. Working with Mark Sampson at England, great role model for the England players even now. Playing against her, she was a tough opponent.
She was telling me earlier on she's got the scars from playing against you as well.
I couldn't catch her. Never mind, kick her.
So much history and tradition involving Arsenal ladies in the Women's FA Cup final. Everton looking to upset the odds once again. They themselves appearing in their 5th final. Twice winners. Lost in 2010 against Arsenal. As Hennigan, who played that day. Good challenge from Kelly Jones. For a long period where the closest domestically to Arsenal between 2006 and 2010, they finished runners-up in the league to Arsenal 5 years in a row. They've lost the last 3 meetings with them though. Big defended by Vicky Jones on that occasion. Fahy. Ono coming a little deep. Looking for a compatriot, Yanga. Delivered by Carter. It's back with Yankee. Looking for Kelly Smith. Ono was available. 17-year-old Gabby George stood her ground. Now can Everton try and break? Paris. Danielle Turner to her left. There's the 22-year-old. Chaplin is deep. Fahy in the way.
It's a great cross by Danny Turner. Just need to get bodies in the box, Everton, but both Paris and Turner are really, really quick. Just catch them up.
Just enough there to put Chaplin off. Another one who was part of the team as a 21-year-old in 2010 in the win over Arsenal. Shelley Kerr there, her last match in charge. She resigned after those 4 straight defeats. Arsenal, of course, had the Champions League exit disappointment of Birmingham as well. Such high standards in the women's game, and she succeeded Laura Harvey. Laura Harvey just won 3 consecutive domestic titles.
Yeah, there's definitely a story there, you know, in terms of Shelley Kerr. You know, I thought she'd been doing really well. It's difficult to deal with a team in transition, but you know, she'd done well winning the FA Cup last year. There's definitely stories behind that. It's very, very difficult to be a manager of a women's team. You know, they're very difficult to manage. Easier to coach, but more difficult to manage. And when you've got strong, you know, players and personalities in there, you've got to manage them well.
Bird, out of her area to good effect. Needed to be as well with the pace of Nikita Paris. George. That's excellent play from Carter. Smith is available. Scott as well. No one's closed down. Carter, who went alone. Well, that would have capped off a brilliant piece of individualism from Danny Carter.
Yeah, it's a great run by Danny Carter, but the movement of Alex Scott, and like, she did well to win it there. Great little piece of skill, but as she moves, you see the run of Alex Scott and the run of Kelly Smith. Just manages to drag the Everton players, but at some point you've got to engage it. In the end, it's dragged wide a little bit, but Everton defenders have got to engage a player running at them, who's at the edge of the box.
Danny Carter's only goal this season was in the semi-final against Chelsea. And here's Paris for Everton. Kelly Jones wants it. Now she's got it. Goes all the way back to her twin sister Vicky. That's a better delivery. Almost reached Chaplin. It's an Everton throw. No foul on Kelly Smith. Hinnigan. Ambitious.
Both the twinnies are a nightmare to play it against because they're small. They're like little terriers, and Kelly Smith saw then that they're really good in the tackle as well, and they just won't hold back. And quite a lot of Everton's good players come down this right-hand side through them.
Casey Stoney trying to find Smith and succeeding.
The Arsenal shape is really good at the moment. Wide players, Yankee and Carter, really good starting positions, so we can pressurise the full-backs of Everton, and they've been dictated to the full-backs of Everton. They're not really got in the game. Alex Greenwood going forward as much on that left-hand side.
Here is Greenwood. Cleared only as far as Carter once more. There's terrific strength as well from Danny Carter. And she's still going. Can Everton stop her? Off the head of George. Almost came to Scott. And then hammered away by Vicky Jones. Here's Carter against Greenwood again, which is a fascinating contest. And again, the Arsenal player wins it. Everton able to get the block in for an Arsenal corner.
She's on a roll, Danny Carter. Every time she's got it in the last part of the game, she shows strength there, great feet to get the ball in. But she just looks dangerous, looks like she's going to get a good ball, and she could have gone down there for a penalty. Having a shot off.
She's now waiting in the 6-yard box for this Arsenal corner. Yankee delivers. Beat the first defender. There's Vicky Jones. Straight back at Everton at the moment.
Yeah, Paris is working her socks off up front, but she needs to not run herself ragged. Just need to get players up the pitch, just move the game forward a little bit. But while ever it's 1-0, Steve, Everton are in chance. You can see they've got players who can score. They've got players who will cause threats to Arsenal at the back. I think Arsenal are in command of this half at the moment.
Kelly Smith's goal that separates the two teams is their first they've scored since the semi-final win to get to this final. They've lost 4 without scoring since the 5-3 win over Chelsea. Everton have scored 7 in 3 FA Cup ties, but only 4 in 7 other games so far this season. They need one in the final, that is for sure. That's too strong for Kelly Jones.
When it's a big stage like this is when your big players come out. You know, Arsenal have not been in form. You know, Shelley's decided that she's going to call it a day with them. But you look at this performance now and you can see the big players stepping up.
Casey Stoney won the FA Cup with Arsenal back in 2001. Ono, former Champions League winner twice with Lyon, World Cup winner with Japan. Says a lot about the progress of the English domestic game. The likes of Shinobi Ono choosing to come and play in England.
Yeah, I mean, you see glimpses of their quality and the way two Japanese players, the way that Japan plays, short passes, technical. You can see every time it comes into them, you know, that they're capable of that. Technically very, very good at short passes, and obviously they're just adapting to the league at the moment, but I think you can see the quality there when they get involved in play.
This is Jade Bailey, underrated 18-year-old, Arsenal's centre of excellence. Carter looking for Mitchell. Carter will take it up again. Oh no, excellent football this from Arsenal. Smith's shot blocked by Chaplin in the end. Harris thought she'd been fouled. Martin Atkinson eventually agreed.
At the moment, every time the ball comes into Paris, whatever position she's in, she's managing to get a turn and the quality. She can get away from people. She gets her body in the way. She's done that a couple of times. Drawn the foul. This time from Jade Bailey.
That's too strong for Kelly Jones. Fine. Seventh season with Arsenal now. You can see her importance, having only completed 90 minutes once this season, that she was picked for this cup final alongside Casey Stoney, which is her experienced pairing back there for Arsenal. One Everton have to try and break down now.
Yeah, I think Leah Williamson have been playing centre-half, so she's only young. She has definitely gone for her most mature and experienced side to try and win this FA Cup.
Ellie Smith. Shy of having a go. She scored a spectacular goal in the semi-final against Chelsea.
Yeah, she relished this challenge today. She's captain. You know, she knows that people are talking about her team at the moment as not being the powers that they were. So what a great stage to come and show that they're on the way back, and you know they've not disappeared from the women's game entirely, which obviously hasn't happened.
Despite the fact, after 4 games in the Women's Super League, they have only 1 point and 1 goal on the board. Already 7 points behind the leaders, Birmingham. They've had their problems in the League Cup as well, which is a group stage. They've already been beaten by Reading, the team from WSL 2. No real problems so far in this Women's FA Cup final for them. Smith once more. Oh no. Ingrid made the run ahead of her. Good defending by George. Now a bit of space for Brooke Chaplin for Everton. Kelly Jones. Andy Spence, I'm sure, Lucy, will just be looking for a little more cutting edge going forward from Everton.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see in the second half whether he matches and puts the 3 up front against Arsenal. You see there that, you know, that Arsenal have dominated this half. You know, you don't need possession stats to tell you that. You can see that. But I would think that he will look at that and think maybe match them up, give Nikita Parry some support. But she's just in a lonely furrow at the moment, but she's doing incredibly well.
Job, of course, England's Tony Duggan was doing until this season for Everton. Jill Scott's departures have hit Everton hard. Here's Kelly Smith. There's a little tug of her shirt there by Millie Turner. It's an Arsenal free kick.
Arsenal would see this as an excellent time to score, but Everton have just got to stay tight at the back and make sure they don't concede again.
Important moments for Rachel Brown finished and Everton just before half-time. Already conceded from 1 set piece. Ono behind this. Always looking for a touch at the back post. Brown finished it just enough. And cleared by Gabby George.
Interesting to see whether the assistant referee would have put his flag up there.
Here's Smith. Back in towards Carter, who did use her hand. Did it cross the line? It didn't cross the line, that's for sure. Danny Carter was brave.
Interesting to see whether she did use her hand, but it definitely didn't cross the line. It was great agility by Rachel Brown-Finnis. Ball in by Kelly Smith, and she just managed to bundle her way through it. She did touch it with her hand then, Steve, I think, but it didn't go over the line, which is the main thing.
Important for Everton to stay in this final at 1-0 going into the break.
Yeah, I just think that once you get to 2 and Arsenal just start to dominate the possession even more. Look, just there she gets both hands on it. Just the 2 hands, referee. It's difficult for him to see from there.
Here's Yankee. This could be problematic for Everton. Excellent defending by Vicky Jones. And it needed to be.
Yeah, Yankee's difficult to defend on one-on-one, but Vicky Jones will stay at it all afternoon.
Mitchell's throw. Vicky and then Kelly Jones to clear for Everton. Scott. Under pressure from Paris. Good and fair pressure as well. Now Turner. Casey Stoney in the way and able to clear as we head into the 1 minute of time added on at the end of this first half.
She's got to play down that left-hand side. She needs to have a look up. Turner then see who was in the box. And she was a little bit further back the edge of the box, but doing a better ball.
Hinnigan. What's useful? Kelly Jones just couldn't quite do enough to really stretch Emma Byrne.
It's so difficult for a keeper in swinging ball like that. In fact, they've got a touch, more of a touch on it. Goalkeeper's diving for nothing, but she did well to keep her eye on it. Unlucky for Everton.
Chaplin. Ono. That's towards Carter. Very good defending by Alex Greenwood.
Again, a good ball put in by Ono. To around the ball all the way across. Alex Greenwood. It's been a problem for Everton. Danny Carter this first half.
This will be the last action of the first 45 minutes. It's concentration time for Everton. Some breakdown as to whether Scott or Ono was taking the corner. It matters not in the end because there isn't enough time to take it. But at the break, it is the holders and 12-time winners who have the lead, courtesy of Kelly Smith, who'd scored in every round up to the final with her stunning free kick on the 15-minute mark. Everton managed to stand firm after that, but need to offer a little more of a goal threat in the second 45 minutes. At the break, in this cup final at the Stadium MK, it is Arsenal 1, Everton 0. No changes from either side at the break. Final few words of encouragement there in the Arsenal huddle as they look for a 13th FA Cup final victory. It's her goal after 15 minutes that still separates these two teams. It could have been worse for Andy Spence and Everton. He's had his say. Can his team come back and spoil the party? It is Arsenal who get us in the way in the second half. Just how important do you think the next goal could be, Lucy Ward?
Well, it will be extremely important, particularly if Arsenal get it. But Everton just need a little bit more belief in themselves. That, they know that they can beat Arsenal. They just need to impose their game on this game rather than letting Arsenal do that to them all the time.
Ono. She's got it back for Arsenal. She gave it straight to Michelle Hinnigan. Greenwood testing 45 minutes, first half, shall we say, at left back for Everton. It's Dan Carter.
Yeah, Dan Carter played really well. We did at half time in the first half. I think there's one or two of the younger ones at Everton team just seem a little bit nervous. They just need to drag it out of themselves.
It was the right idea from Brooke Chaplin, trying to find Kelly Jones. Didn't quite have the execution.
Yeah, Everton play further up the pitch and impose themselves on Arsenal and put Arsenal under pressure. At the moment, their fullbacks are really under pressure. They started well against Emma Mitchell, sort of waned towards the end of the first half.
Here's Carter. Caused Everton a number of problems in that first half. I'm sure that was a subject for discussion during the break.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Alex Green is a good young player. You know, she'll be looking to get tighter to Dan Carter, not let her turn and run at her, which they've done quite a few times in the first half.
Smith. Here's Carter once more. Up against Greenwood again. And crosses too deep on that occasion for Ono. Mitchell. Kinga. Strength again from the 17-year-old Gabby George.
Yeah, I think Everton have got high hopes for her for the future. Strong, powerful, good in the air. This will be a great experience for her, whatever happens today.
Carter. Looking for Ono. Very nearly found her too. Vicky Jones. Minigan. Dispossessed by Yankee. Now Kinga for Arsenal. Fellow Japanese international Ono making a run centrally. She was looking instead for Carter. It's comfortable for Fahy. Kelly Smith popping up on the left-hand side. Good movement again from Ono. Lifted in by Smith. Well defended by Turner. Casey Stoney, as well as winning this competition with Arsenal. With Charlton in 2005. They beat Everton.
Quite a laid-back sort of afternoon so far, Casey Stoney. She's dealt with everything in front of her, not much has gone in behind her. Looked at Paris, more down this right-hand side in the first half.
Fahy. Jade Bailey, who didn't feature in last year's win either. For all the players that have won countless FA Cups, they'll still have a few looking for their first as well. That's another good challenge from Gabby George. And we talk about support for the women's game. It's great to see the Everton chairman, Bill Kenwright, down in Milton Keynes, supporting their club's ladies team. Hoping for a turnaround in fortunes as well. There's Smith going for the far post. And the follow-up straight into the arms of Brown Finnis. Very nearly another piece of individual brilliance from Kelly Smith. 3 times Arsenal have hit the woodwork now. How many times can Everton survive those kind of situations?
You get Kelly Smith in that much space with that much pressure on her. She could just see a little turn. You've got to get a bit closer to her. She could see the space until Brown finishes goal, but again the post gets in the way.
Arsenal have really picked up where they left off at the end of the first half. Here's Yankee. Finnegan trying to close her down. Smith. Kinga on a different wavelength. Can Everton conjure anything up on the break? Nice, comfortably dispossessed by Bailey, and Carter has the space. Greenwood nowhere near her. It's still Carter. Worrying times for Everton. Still can't get it off her. Still Dan Carter. She was looking for Smith. Desperate interception from Lindsay Johnson. Kinga. That time Greenwood able to get a challenge in.
I think on Everton's attack there, Alex Greenwood was just caught forward. Just meant that Dan Carr had a free run down that right-hand side, and she's been getting a lot of joy there.
Here she is again. Finnegan didn't deal with that. It's picked up by Yankee. Oh no. Looking to return it to Yankee. Everton still can't get this clear. Finally, Chaplin for Everton. Kelly Jones. It's an Everton throw.
Done quite well with it. A few times that she's got the ball. Nikita Parris in the second half. Nefire's got a lot closer to her, so she can't turn.
This is Millie Turner. The 19 international, followed by Alex Greenwood, newly crowned full England international. Arsenal still looking comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, when they're in possession, Arsenal, they look like they're in total control, and you just see the opportunities opening up for them as the second half goes on, and Everton just need to get a grip of it.
The opportunity to get away from domestic matters, where they've lost 3 of 4 WSL games. Just to give you an idea of what a standard it is in the women's game, they'd lost only 3 of their previous 42. That's why so many eyebrows are being raised. Now, of course, when they resume on June the 29th after today, they're away at the reigning champions Liverpool. They will have a new coach in charge.
I mean, everybody else thinks this is good for the women's game, that Arsenal have competition.
Smith.
You know, there's only really Arsenal players and Arsenal fans that you know, would prefer them to just dominate, but I think in women's football, for it to progress, it needs to be like it is now, where, you know, we come to a game like this and we don't really know who's going to win. So it's up to Everton now to prove that.
Here's Smith, trying to get away from Chaplin. Fahy. Caught by Vicky Jones. Again, there is space for Carter, and that is a worry for Everton. Alex Greenwood stood her ground that time. And a second time.
She did well, Alex Greenwood then. You know, she knows that the majority of this game, Dan Carter's got the better of her, but she knows that she's got to keep going.
Smith. Carter has wriggled away again in towards Ono. Almost came out to Smith. Chaplin able to clear. Parris will try and keep this in, and she will. Blistering pace. Now can Everton get forward to support her? Parris went alone. Fahy with the block. And then the burn will leave that one comfortably. It's almost a lone crusade for Nikita Paris for Everton up top. And we're talking about support for the women's game. What about that for an attendance today for the Women's FA Cup final at Stadium MK? Over 15,000.
Yeah, I think they're all enjoying themselves as well. I can hear a few hooters. Lots of kids, which is great.
Smith. King has made a run from midfield. Find Ono. I do get the feeling if Arsenal pick the pass in that kind of situation, Everton could be in trouble again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can see that, but also Everton are only 1-0 behind. They just need to get themselves a break, and they're back in it. And they've got to have the belief that they can do that. They're not 2-3-0 down now, Steve. You know, they're only 1-0 down and take a mistake or a moment of brilliance, and we can see they have got the players that can unlock the door in the Arsenal defence.
Such a big moment for Everton ladies today. And in their third FA Cup final in the last 25 years, in stark contrast to Arsenal's domination of the competition. I'm sure that was a message before kick-off as well, to stay in the game, be in the game.
Yeah, well, they are in the game. Like I said before, I think there's a couple of them, the first half, that the nerves have got to them, but you know, they're just going to drag it out of themselves and, you know, get the balls to the people, the players that are in form.
Ono is offside. Japanese international, World Cup winner. He spends 20 months in charge now, after 8 years as assistant to Mo Marley. Set to rebuild as well. All of his players were out of contract at the end of last season. 16 signed new deals. And he had to wave goodbye to England internationals Jill Scott and Tony Duggan, who began the new adventure at Manchester City ladies.
What he can do is rely on the youth setup, and fruits of that you'll see now in this squad. And obviously they will learn from this experience whatever happens, and you know, be better players going forward. And he said it's a season of transition, but he's hopeful of his young players.
Mitchell has missed only one game for Arsenal this season with the throw to Smith. Arsenal won't be able to relax with just a 1-goal deficit. Mitchell's throw. Hinnigan. Chaplin, 5 years an Everton player. He's sticking closely to Paris.
Yeah, Brooke Chaplin and Michelle Hinnigan on the ball just a little bit more in midfield, because things seem to come from them. The tempo's up as soon as it comes into Chaplin. She needs to get more involved in the game, because she definitely can create.
Bailey. The 18-year-old once more. Forward from Casey Stoney. That might break to Smith. Back heel was looking for Ono. Hinnigan. Everton seeing a little more of the ball in this second half.
Yeah, they are, and they've just got to work it further up the pitch and get opportunities around the box, because at the moment they're not having those opportunities around the box. They get the ball up there, and the quality needs to be a little bit better.
Kelly Smith chasing this. Gabby George for company. Kelly Smith carries on. Scott in support. So too is Kinga. And the Japanese international, with her first Arsenal goal, doubles the Gunners' advantage. Thumbs up from Shelley Kerr in her last game in charge. An hour gone, 2-0 Arsenal.
Yeah, the game was stretched, Everton were attacking, and it was interesting the referee let this go. I mean, George is obviously holding Kelly Smith. She played the advantage, great little slide pass. Good finish. I think she's incredibly pleased with scoring in an FA Cup final as well. Kinga, composed finish. And I think that's where Arsenal deserved to be 2-0 up. As soon as the game got stretched and Everton were further up the pitch, they just broke with a little bit of pace and power.
Well, you could see what it meant to her. She might have nearly 100 Japanese caps. She might be a World Cup winner, a silver medalist at London 2012, but she's now scored in the English Women's FA Cup final. While all that was going on, Everton have made a change. 21-year-old Billy Murphy, who actually began her career at Arsenal without making a first-team appearance, is on for Everton. Andy Spence was making that change before the second goal went in. Good moment for Billy Murphy against their former club and in her hometown, Milton Keynes born. She comes on with her team trailing by 2-0.
Yeah, big ask now for Everton. If they're going to get back in it, they need to score a goal really, really quickly. Arsenal are dominant. They've got the second goal, and I think that Arsenal think that is the killer goal.
Spence deep in thought. That's an excellent ball. George did just enough. Finish though, can't prevent the corner.
This game's getting stretched. These centre halves have ended up being isolated and being one-on-one, which is not what Everton want. It's a great ball. Get a little ball, and George just found himself just at the wrong side of it, got a foot to it. Brown finish couldn't stop it from being a corner.
Rachel Yankee is going to deliver towards Fahy. Oh, and then it was Bailey. Blocked by George. Back in from Yankee. Well defended that time by Millie Turner for Everton. Kelly Smith, scorer of one, setting up another. Hennigan's clearance. Bailey for Arsenal. Now by Paris. Look at that from Kelly Smith.
Yeah, she's definitely the difference between the two sides here. Like you say, she's scored one and created the other one. Everton just need to get close to it. Maybe too late now. Whenever she gets the ball, something happens.
Here's Carter. Going again. Oh no! Fantastic save by Brown finish to prevent a third Arsenal goal.
Fantastic little 1-2, Dan Carter, and oh no, and she struck it really well. Rachel Brown finished, strong wrist, equal to it. Great piece of play.
She keeps Everton in this cup final. Ono herself is going to retake the resulting corner. Towards that near post, Brown finish, didn't get there. Millie Turner did just enough for Everton at the back post.
Just need to be careful now that this game just doesn't completely run away with them and get a little bit of stability.
Carter breezes past Everton again. Scott straight at Brown finish that time. Been such a goal threat in this final. Arsenal, I have to say, they could have easily had more than the two, Lucy.
Yeah, they could. The momentum's been with them for the majority of the game, and you know that Everton have defended quite well at times, but you know they're just relentless at the moment.
Next time Everton get possession in that kind of area, they're losing it too cheaply.
Yeah, there's just not enough players around. They're not shifting up as units, and then it becomes open, and you're at risk of conceding again.
Here's Ono, shooting opportunity. Couldn't find the target. She's seen her Japanese international teammate find the back of the net. She was trying to do the same. Shinobi Ono. Plenty of support have come south for Everton. At the moment, that particular statistic tells its own story.
Yeah, it does, and you know, Arsenal are enjoying themselves now. They've got themselves 2-0 up and everybody wants to get in on the act. It's up to Everton to stem that tide and try their best to get up there and get something themselves and see what happens, but it doesn't look likely at the moment.
Here's Carter. Decent try. After another effective run from Dan Carter.
Yeah, Dan Carter again. She gets the ball, she looks threatening. She's just loved it today. She runs past defenders, gets the shot away. Not on target. Brown Finnis has done well this game. She started the game well and she's had to be on form to keep the score to 2.
What can Everton do to try and get a foothold back in this cup final? Johnson. Ball from George. Murphy will get to that. It's a goal kick eventually. Smith, who scored in the first half, our 6th FA Cup final goal. Equalled the record held by Julie Fleeting, formerly of Arsenal, of course. So if Kelly Smith was able to score again, yet another record will be shattered.
I'm sure she's aware of that record as well. I mean, Julie Fleeting was a terrific striker for Arsenal, but Kelly Smith's still going in the English game. She put her name in the record books that way.
Greenwood for Everton. Good defending from Casey Stoney.
Yeah, they've definitely got to grips better with Paris this second half, both Nephi and Casey Stoney. They've got closer to her and not allow her to turn. It's been a little bit frustrating for her.
Chaplin. Carter is so alive to the situation for Arsenal. Able to get a foot in, but it's an Arsenal corner. Another test for Everton. The 9th corner of this game. It's been taken by Rachel Yankee. He's edging closer to that 11th FA Cup winners medal. Right on top of the goalkeeper that time. Finnis dealt with it. It's back to Smith. Finger in support. Smith once more, the 2 Arsenal goal scorers, trying to fashion an opening for a third. It's Yankee. Finnis down to her left-hand side.
I think all the Everton defenders then thought it was going to be flagged offside, but it wasn't. It wasn't offside. Kelly Smith, luckily for them, Yankee's shot was covered by Rachel Brown Finnis.
Everton throw as we go into the last 20 minutes. It's now or never for Andy Spence's team. Now going to make another change. Simone McGill, the Northern Ireland international, only 19 years of age, is coming on to replace Millie Turner, the 17-year-old. 15 months at the club, having arrived from Ulster Ladies, signed by Andy Spence.
Yeah, I think she would count herself unlucky not to have started Simone McGill, and I think Andy Spence is just thinking, well, we may as well go for it. He puts a forward on. You know, you may as well lose 4 and go for it and try and get yourself back in the game for Everton. So we can get it to 2-1. You never know what might happen.
Danielle Turner manages to get the cross in, but it's too close to Emma Byrne. He's edging closer to a 26th medal in her incredible Arsenal career. This is the 14th season of it. Emma Byrne, who's 35 years of age later this month.
Interested to see what happens with Emma Byrne after this season, Steve. Obviously they signed Siobhan Chamberlain, you know, current England goalkeeper. Whether Emma will retire or what will happen. They've got 2 top-class keepers. I would say that Siobhan Chamberlain was a top keeper in the WSL last season, so she's obviously moved to play, but we know when she plays is obviously up to the manager at the time.
And of course they have a new manager, Shelley Kerr, that brought in Siobhan Chamberlain, who we should point out played in every FA Cup game until today. So the women didn't adopt their men's approach, where of course Chesney didn't play in the FA Cup final. Arsene Wenger stuck with the one that had played throughout. Shelley Kerr recalling Emma Byrne today. That was a foul on Paris.
Yeah, that's it. She's a sort of player, Paris, that draws fouls like that. She's got so quick-footed. She can get away from people. She ends up being lunged at.
Lindsay Johnson to take the Everton free kick. Very comfortably by Scott.
And the sun's out, Steve. Just as we're nearly finishing.
There's Arsenal supporters enjoying the sunshine at the moment. They've enjoyed this performance. Here's Paris. Kinga. Kelly Smith a little amused looking at Martin Atkinson as to why that wasn't an Arsenal free kick.
Yeah, he's ref this very well. Martin Atkinson, obviously quite a lot of players here are well known among the referees, and you know, Kelly Smith's not getting any special treatment from him. She's following him across the pitch.
Refereed the League Cup final in February. Manchester City's victory over Sunderland. He was also in charge of Manchester City's last day win against West Ham when they clinched the Premier League title. Good season for Martin Atkinson as well. As Kinga had a long hard look at that and then waved away any claims.
Yeah, it looked a little bit dodgy to me, that challenge, but Martin Atkinson wasn't going to give it. Nobody really appealed.
Carter. Still going. And they can't stop her. She very nearly set up Kelly Smith. You have to say she's tormented Alex Greenwood today.
Yeah, she has, and you know, she's got the better of her, and every time she gets it down that right-hand side, Everton look under pressure. I think in the end, Greenwood there just lunged in at her and really minded whether she gave a penalty away or not, but she kept going. Still remains 2-0.
Here's Ono. Inviting cross as well. It was Alex Scott who was the closest to it. The right fullback put behind in the end by Alex Greenwood for Everton. Well, Arsenal are going to make a change before the corner. Jade Bailey is departing, the 18-year-old, and she's being replaced by someone 12 years her junior, 17-year-old Leah Williamson, who has started 8 of the last 9 games. Probably felt that she was going to start the final today. She was a cup winner last year with the under-17s when they beat Blackburn. She's going to get a taste of the senior action for the last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, and I know Arsenal, I mean, I heard Kelly Smith talking about Leah Williamson this week, which I have high hopes for. They think she's a top-class act, and she'll be disappointed she hasn't started, but let's face it, she's young enough to play in a lot of cup finals.
Ono's corner. Just over the substitute. Back with Scott. Ono. Space for Alex Scott to deliver the cross, which came off Alex Greenwood for another Arsenal corner.
This is starting to look like a vintage Arsenal performance, which I haven't seen that much of this season so far.
This one short. Scott. Paris still working tirelessly up there for Everton.
She'll just keep going and keep going. She wants a cup final goal. She wants to drag her team forward. She's a real handful.
5 goals in 9 games in all competitions this season. She had that half opportunity inside the very first 60 seconds. She's seen very little of the ball in front of goal since.
She's kept going, Stephen, that's the thing, and I think if it does come to her, you know, in the remaining minutes of this game, she'll be ready. And sometimes when you don't get anything as a forward and you're just going and going, sometimes you can switch off, but you can tell the way she is, she's determined.
There's a foul on Danielle Turner. Everton have a free kick. Captain Michelle Hinnigan to deliver it. Is there anything on the end of this? It was towards Paris, who got the header in. Well, her frustration is understandable.
It's a great ball in. Michelle Hinnigan got her head to it and did have the angle, but it just hit past the far post, and Emma Byrne was worried enough about it, and that's what I mean about an opportunity for Nikita Paris. It goes 2-1 there, and a little bit of game on the last 10 minutes or so.
Nicely weighted pass from Smith. Ono is onside. Mitchell. Oh, lovely skill again from Kelly Smith. Just trying to pick out Carter, who couldn't bring it under control. And that really was all about Kelly Smith again.
Yeah, big games and big players step up to the mark, and she's definitely done that today. Like I say, I think she's been the difference. She gets the ball, something happens, and she could just see Dan Carter on that far post, and unfortunately for Dan Carter, she couldn't control it. Hit it first time. Great play.
She's won 11 trophies with Arsenal. Kelly Smith, she's had a huge part. And it is going to be number 12 for her. And a 4th FA Cup triumph in her career. She's played a bigger part than most, scoring in every single round, including the final. 6 FA Cup goals in this campaign. And she set up the other one today as well. Hikari Kinga, the Japanese international. He's challenging Paris there. And winning it there, ahead of Hinnigan. Some concern about the Everton captain after that challenge.
She went in full-blooded to that, but didn't get up very quickly. Whether it was her ankle, just her ankle twisted underneath her. You see there, she wasn't really happy about getting up. Whether it was the ankle.
She's back on her feet. The 23-year-old who went to bed last night about dreaming of lifting the FA Cup for Andy Spence and for Everton ladies. Doesn't look as though the dream is going to become reality for Hinnigan and for Everton. Here come Arsenal again. Oh no. Stopped by George.
She's got more into it. Oh no, as the game's gone on and Arsenal's dominance has increased. Great little player. She should get behind George there, but she defended well.
Yankees corner. Stoney almost got something on it. That was a substitute, Williamson, who couldn't get over it.
Yeah, it just didn't come down. Leah Williamson then, she got first touch on it and got underneath it.
way. They're looking to add to just 4 major honours in their history today, including a League Cup win over Arsenal as well back in 2008. They need a goal to restore some light at the end of the tunnel. This is Ono for Arsenal.
Did well there, Brooke Chaplin, because it looked a little bit ominous going forward. Arsenal on the counter.
Everton's third and final change is to be the removal of Daniel Turner. Fern Whelan, who was part of the team that beat Arsenal in the cup final in 2010. He's only appeared 4 times this season. With her injury problems, is on for the last 8 minutes or so.
Yeah, massive moment for Fern Whelan. She's really struggled with a knee injury over the last couple of seasons, and coming back in an FA Cup final is exactly what she want to do in these circumstances. But she's come back. She's really struggled, and really pleased for her.
Shelley Kerr looking on for the final time as Arsenal ladies manager. The message is clear from the supporters. We'll have a new manager when they resume matters at the end of June. In the WSL, it looks as though Shelley Kerr is going out on a high. Williamson.
The thing is, Steve, the new manager's got to come in and win something, because looks like she's going to win the FA Cup final. She won it last year, so it's a bit of pressure coming into this. When you get pressure anyway at Arsenal, but she will have gone out how she wanted to go out, and that's a winner.
So in the League Cup as well last season, it was a domestic cup double, which for most clubs in the women's game would be a hugely successful campaign. But given the fact that Arsenal were used to winning titles, and certainly being in the Champions League, the 3rd place finish as well, that rather tainted matters.
Yeah, it did, but for me it's a little bit premature. I don't know whose decision it was and why Shelley's going, but at the end of the day, her remit is to win trophies. She's probably going to win one today, and you've got to see how the rest of the WSL season goes. But definitely puts pressure on the next person who is manager of Arsenal ladies.
Whoever it is will have the help of Kelly Smith, who perhaps not surprisingly has been chosen by our studio panel as the player of the match for this year's FA Women's Cup final.
Yeah, well deserved.
Touch there. Martin Atkinson waiting for any advantage. He's pulled it back for an Arsenal free kick.
Yeah, Dan Carter can't have been far behind in the reckoning for player of the match, but I do think she's been instrumental. Kelly, the way she's played, she loves games like this. This is what she plays for now. Big games on a big stage.
Yankee and Ono behind this one. Casey Stoney is up from the back. Williamson is in there as well, floated in by Yankee. Carter! That was her chance to cap a brilliant individual performance with a goal.
She definitely deserves a goal. I mean, the way that was set up, it looked like it could be offside, but I don't think it was. Free header at goal, you'd expect her to do better, particularly the form she's in the game today.
Some charge for Shelley Kerr. It'll be 3 cups delivered.
It's not bad, is it?
As I said earlier, Lucy, that for most clubs that would be hugely successful, but it's been so high, the Arsenal standards over the years. She's enjoying her last stint in that dugout.
I saw her before the game, and she says she wishes she was playing, and then she says, but where to hold, aren't we? I think I don't know if she was talking about me, obviously was. I have played against her a couple of times actually when she played for Bells. Good player, centre half, strong.
Former Scotland captain. Here's Carter. Smith is waiting. It's Hinnigan who got back in the nick of time for Everton.
Good play again by Carter, manages to get to the byline. They've done that a few times. Good defending, Hinnigan. Yet
another Arsenal corner. time of the final 5 minutes of this FA Cup final.
Nice and tidy in there, girls, please, nice and tidy.
In again from Yankee. There's an infringement before Everton cleared that through Brooke Chaplin.
There's that many bodies around Rachel Brown. It's a couple of times now, the referee going for an infringement. Goalkeepers do get a lot of protection, but I don't think there's that many bodies in front of you, it's so difficult.
Williamson.
It's not bad. She just come on. She wants to get herself in on the act. She's played centre half and she also played midfield, but just on the edge of the box there. She sees a little bit of a space. Just pulled it wide.
George. It's been Everton's way. If you were an Everton player today, how would you reflect on this?
Well, I think it's good experience. I mean, they'll be disappointed that they weren't better going forwards, because they have the players to do it, that's the thing. And a little bit more belief, I think, in the first half leading into the second, and they could have got themselves back in it. But Arsenal have been dominant, and they will say they've been beaten by the better team, but they've got to learn from this experience, the youngsters, and that's the key thing.
Reminder, we're watching the bottom two currently, after 4 games of the WSL season. Everton with just 2 points and 1 goal on the board. They will resume on the 29th of this month, domestically at home to Chelsea in the WSL. Cleared by Fahy for Arsenal. They've only had 2 clean sheets in 9 games in all competitions this season, but their goal has rarely been threatened today.
Yeah, they've looked composed at the back. Quite a lot of the players been in front of Fahy and Stoney, and they've looked really comfortable.
Scott managed to keep that in. Last minute of the 90. Forward by Yankee. Oh no, couldn't get the touch she was after.
Ono was expecting Rachel Brown Finnish to go through it, and Rachel Brown Finnish was expecting Ono to touch it, so they needed to take the initiative. In the end, it was the Everton goalkeeper.
Kinga decided to try her luck. Straight out Brown Finnish. Certainly be a big day for the 2 Japanese internationals, to say, on Champions League, World Cups, Olympic silver medals. In their first 6 months in England, they will be FA Cup winners.
It's terrific, and look at bringing the foreign players at that top level. These are top level players that won the World Cup over into the English League, can only help it.
2 minutes of added time before Arsenal can really celebrate. Given Shelley Kerr the send-off she was so desperate for. An emotional moment for her when the full-time whistle goes. She really told the players a week ago of her decision. It's an unusual build-up to any cup final, particularly for Arsenal Ladies Football Club.
Yeah, absolutely. Usually when a manager goes, the manager just goes, and it goes at the end of the season. So, but obviously the Arsenal girls have performed for Shelley this afternoon and made sure she's sent off with a trophy.
Carter at it again, away from the substitute Murphy. Up against Johnson. Still Carter. Johnson got the block. Smith. Again they've hit the woodwork. This time it was Mitchell. She can afford a wry smile in stoppage time. Oh no. Carter. She's desperate for that goal. Williamson. And the effort from Kinga.
Rachel Brown's determined not to concede again, but that was 4 or 5 times it's hit the woodwork in this half. The Everton woodwork. Anyway, a good play by Emma Mitchell in the end. Just spun off onto the... and Fern Whelan there could just see an own goal in front of her. She managed to clear it in time.
A few seconds for Shelley Kerr to gather her thoughts, because the Arsenal coach leaves on a high. She has led Arsenal ladies to a record 13th FA Cup triumph. Yukari Kinga, the Japanese international, in the second half. Kelly Smith in the first with her 6th FA Cup final goal of her career. Arsenal may be in a period of transition. They may be closing the Shelley Kerr era, but they have held on to their trophy that they won 12 months ago with a convincing victory over Everton.
Yeah, and this game was going to be about who took the initiative, and the big game players for Arsenal, the internationals, you know, they took a hold. Yankee in the first half, Kelly Smith all the way through it, Casey Stoney at the back, ensuring that Everton didn't really get a sniff, and they've stood up to the plate, and you know, they've ended up winning really at a canter.
Shelley Kerr can now reflect on the perfect send-off. Huge smile on the face of Kelly Smith, who wins the FA Cup for the 4th time. Arsenal for a record 13th. And those supporters who've become accustomed to watching their ladies' team win silverware have been able to do so once again in Stadium MK today. Really, you could argue that 2-0 doesn't do Arsenal justice today.
No, it doesn't. But I do think that, you know, Everton put up a good fight, particularly in the first half, to keep it to 1, just to keep them in it, and they kept them in it. I think as soon as that second goal went in, I think that it was very, very difficult for Everton to get back.